God and he showed up. I ain't really wanna blow up. Hard time building, yeah. Let me say it as it is. Let me say it as it is. I owe Jesus everything. Woo. I'ma say it as it is.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another reaction video with me, Nathan Day. It feels great to finally be getting back to some reaction videos, man. It's only been like 2 months since I released my last review, which was of Mark Jones's album Glass Half Empty. It's only been about 2 months since then, but it feels like forever. Anyone who knows me well knows that I move at a relatively fast pace. So yeah, a lot's been happening even in the past 2 months. As I've said plenty of times in previous videos, my work with my own creative brand Mental Roots has really kept me on my toes, as well as starting a new full-time job since the last reaction video as well. So a lot of new things have been happening just in the 2 months alone. But of course I had to get back here because we are here for another big reaction. If you've been following this channel for even just a few months now, you will definitely know about my reaction to Lecrae's Church Close 4. That is my most popular review so far. Part 1 of my reaction to Church Close 4 has over 700 views now, and to me, with someone who's just doubled his number of YouTubers in the past 4 months, that's big news, man. Like, to get over 700 views in the early days of my reactions is no small feat. So thank you to all of you who have subscribed around that time and who have been following since then. But this is obviously the deluxe that's just come out, which is called Dry Clean Only. So without much further ado, I'm gonna hop straight into the tracks. But yeah, I'm just gonna dive straight in. I heard a preview on the Instagram, which I'm not sure what song that is. I think that must have been Legacy, that little snippet where he's spitting grown man bars, you know, about his being a dad and, you know, kind of navigating the season he's in. And I don't like to compare people too much to secular artists, but to me, Lecrae is the Jay-Z of CHH, or today's Jay-Z of CHH anyway. He always finds a way to adapt and stay relevant. The features look very interesting in the bonus tracks. I do not know who that is. You are Strully XYZ. That is a very weird name for an artist. Are they a new artist? Let's see. Yep, they don't have any other songs, so yeah, it'll be very curious to see what that artist is. D-Smoke, secular rapper. I've never really listened to his music. Tory Deshawn, again, if you're familiar with today's generation of CHH artists, Tory does his thing. Definitely one of my favorite artists in, I guess, the Gen Z of CHH. J. Paul the Carpenter, never heard of him. Rotimi, or Rotimi, I forgot how you say his name. American of Nigerian descent. As you can see, again, he's got explicit songs, but he does star in Power. So if any of you have watched Power, that show by 50 Cent, he's one of the main characters in that. But he does do music as well. So again, very diverse range of artists, even in the deluxe. Let's see what they offer. Again, very short tracks. Lecrae does that very well. He packs a lot into a small amount of time. But yeah, first track of the deluxe, I guess, is They Ain't No. Let's see what he has to say here. Okay, we're getting eerie. Okay, where we going?
Yeah, they try me, but they don't know I'm grinding. If I'm shining, then God must be behind me. Yeah, they hate me, but
if you know your hip hop, they ain't no. It sounds like, yeah, hope. If you're familiar with that ad lib, I think it's Juicy J that originated that thing. Excuse the bad language, but yeah, he says, yeah, hope, and then he's saying, they ain't no. I wonder if that's where Lecrae's getting the inspiration from, but yeah.
it's too late, 'cause I just said what's up. They can't kill me, they just out here killing time.
Okay, I'm waiting for the bus.
God, I'm blessed. Was a kid, grown men punching on me. Felt neglect, then I turned to Jesus. Christians at my neck. What is you saying? You never snuck in China, smuggling.
Again, same old narrative with a lot of his recent songs. He's really talking about the streets where he came up, and then he thought he could find peace in the church. But obviously, you know, if you know about Lecrae's story, he's had a lot of backlash from the wider church because of over religiosity. That's the best way to summarize it, to be honest. But yeah, he's not saying anything new. Beat is sounding a little bit generic. Again, Lecrae has done his fair share of trap beats. Just earlier today, actually, I was listening to Let the Trap Say Amen, the album that he did with Zaytoven. So he's done a lot of trap beats, man. And this beat doesn't sound that new or innovative in any way. But again, it's hype. You know, if he plays it out a concert, it's definitely going to get the crowd hyped up. So it succeeds in the job that the song was made for, you know. So far, it's a bop. Not more I can say, really.
Money and Bibles, ducking and dodging police when they pull up behind you and praying to God they don't find you, man. Please do not try me. Let me speak up. If they hate me, that's cool. Tell them keep up. How you mad, but you still want a feature? Kill me, I'm coming back like it's Easter. Buying stripes.
How you mad, but you still want a feature? That's real, man. People be criticizing you, but they'll be the same people who have their hands out because they know you're in a better position than them. So, yeah. Lecrae's just talking that real when it comes to working with other artists. But, yeah, let's go.
Here like Adidas, serpent under his heel, kill a demon. I got God on my side like a heater. If you mad at me, run it by Jesus.
Man, hold on. Y'all better run tell Jesus. I'm really in the trenches in this thing, man.
They know if I'm shining, and God must be behind. Yeah, they hate me, but they no longer fade me. If they doubt me, they don't know much about me. Just don't feel them. Yeah. Folks on my head like a headhunter. Yeah, I thought you said something. Ain't been to church in a minute. I watch it online. I just hope that they praying for you. They hate it, and now they gon' throw me away.
See, again, Lecrae is ageless. He's the same people coming at his neck. Because he stays relevant artistically and he keeps his head on the ground in terms of like what's current, what's happening in the world right now. He's really tapping in with my generation, like Gen Z and even younger. Like, and he said in Misconceptions 4, my kids grew up on CHH. They breed different or something like that. But yeah, he's really like raised a whole generation of kids on his music, man. To think that the older generations within the church are still not accepting of, they still don't see the mission. They still don't understand when he's in the streets, when he's in these secular spaces, that he's really there to shine his light as a believer. But yeah, if you're a tat-wearing Christian who hangs out with secular artists and, you know, talks about real societal issues without putting Jesus glitter on it all the time, then all of a sudden you're not really a good role model for young believers. And it's like, come on, we need to get rid of these binaries in the church, man. So
you gonna do to me? Send me right back where I came from. Say I'm not welcome because you got to say so.
What are you gonna do? Send me back to where I came from? Again, talking that black pride, that, hey, look, I'm gonna worship God with all of me, including my ethnic roots, including my culture in it.
They telling me that I can't come. I'ma speak up. I speak to the streets like a preacher. Y'all sitting at home with your feet up. Yeah, they try me, but they don't know I'm grinding. If I'm shy, they can't kill me. They just out here killing time.
Nice scratching at the end. Okay, we're gonna let it roll into the next track. Yeah, it's alright. Nice little bop, nothing too innovative. Okay, Double R Dreamin featuring You Are Strully XYZ. I don't know how you say that.
I was just double R dreaming. All I had was $40. Jesus, peace, pray you for the blessings.
Again, I think he's gonna talk about his roots.
I wanted a big body fully, I knew what my time was. As a young man, I'm trying to fall on my time, so
This feature sounds a bit like Young Thug. Isn't it great?
Like I know that thing I dream. Mess around, miss my stop, but it was cool, I was dreaming. Am I so wrong?
Double R Dreamin.
Cause I've been grinding on this block for way too long. I may not ever get that.
One thing I've noticed with every recent album Lecrae has done is that I think his singing is getting better and better. Like his melody, yeah, just his sense of melody, you know, is really improving. And yeah, man, he's got the whole package. He's got the melodies, the vibey deliveries, and cadences and flows. Yeah, he's got the whole variety. Yeah, this is what makes him stay current and stay relevant after all these years. Is he's always switching his sound, staying on his toes creatively, not shying away from the auto-tune, which I guess a lot of CHH artists of his generation do very, very sparingly, which I respect. I always say, you know, not always say, but I always think that don't overuse auto-tune. If you know auto-tune isn't for you, you don't have to use it. You don't have to use auto-tune to stay relevant. So I do believe that, but I think Lecrae has started to really pull it off to make it work for him. I don't know. It's the auto-tune does make the melody sound a little bit forced sometimes for Lecrae, but on other songs, I think it hits pretty well. So yeah, man, I think for the most part, Lecrae has started to really use auto-tune well.
I was just double R dreaming, new for us scheming. All I had was $40, stepping down the street and shine. Dreaming I'll make it out back when I was a child. Cause daddy never showed up. Thought we was
Daddy never showed up again. That narrative.
Yeah, I'm a valley with the prison. I was in the kitchen eating top ramen. Made it to the top ramen. Made it out the mud grinding. Pray to God and he showed up. I ain't really wanna blow up. Hard time.
Blow up. He was holding that note there. He really was holding that note. He's getting more and more brave with this singing. I don't mind it. It would be nice to see what his singing is like with minimal auto-tune or even no auto-tune. Maybe if he would like to do an acoustic song, or it would be nice to just hear that imperfection in his voice. I think it would add a lot more soul to some of his music. Because if I'm honest, the reason why these first two songs aren't really hitting me like with the wow factor is because I know what I said about the auto-tune, and sometimes, or a lot of the time, I think Lecrae does it relatively well. It does get predictable and it does get boring. I am getting a little bit tired of hearing Lecrae always using auto-tune when he's singing. Whereas if there was like a more soulful, organic sort of song with the instrumentation, like it was a bit more organic and used like traditional instruments, then maybe that might allow him to just try singing without all those effects, because yeah, it does get very predictable and a bit.
Thank God that I was just double R dreaming, new for us scheming.
Another cute song. So it's just Lecrae talking about his come up and what he used to fantasize about versus where he is now. And now this song is called Can You Hear Me Now, featuring D Smoke. Maybe D Smoke will give us some bars in a verse. Let's see. Okay, this must be a hidden feature on the hook.
Okay, I detect the disconnect, the voice just give directions, but when I listen, visions, my intentions got me wishing it was different. I be tripping over two left feet. That's me, I keep straying from it, help me, I help myself. I tell myself, don't sell myself short. The cellular sort that can't connect. Call God, but I call collect, except placed on hold, my faith enlarges. I chased the stake the way the dog did. Her waist was great, her face was gone. Pace was slow enough to roll it up and
oh, that's D Smoke.
Approach the stars with smoke, don't smoke, so ironic. Dipped in ratchet, slipped the glance and said she is with menages. She'll sell a bit, she'll dip for profits. Weak flesh, boy, they spared the.
Okay, a little bit of storytelling. They're talking about a girl who's selling. Sell a bit. Nice play on words there. Sell a bit for profit. I guess a stripper, I don't know, just telling real stories of, yeah, just real people from the hoods, just trying to make it by doing what they have to do. It's not morally ideal in terms of the way they hustle, whether it's moving weight or working as a stripper. But yeah, in certain contexts where there's a lot of poverty and crime and not much education or exposure to better opportunities, you do what you have to do to survive. So I guess that's what this song is about. And I guess the "Can You Hear Me Now" is like, can you hear us? You know, the voices of the marginalized. Can you hear us?
It's good old word to grow till you feel the largest. Be a vessel, need to be filled regardless. Care how hard the test is.
I think I'm losing my reception. All I need is your protection. Can you hear me now? But can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I've been afflicted, connection restricted. I know I should wake up and dig in the scriptures. I'm scrolling through pictures. I meant to get with you, but after some minutes, I guess I forgot.
I'm guilty of that. Yeah, I know I'm meant to be in the scriptures, but I'm here flicking through pictures. Very relatable. Very, very relatable. Across every generation nowadays. It's not just young people who struggle with it. But yeah, even older generations, you know. God help us. The addiction to the screen, man. Oh boy.
Hands looking at me, they can tell if I'm back. They can tell
He's
if
flowing.
I'm off the rails when I rap. I've been running so long, I excel on the track. They're choking me, that's why I exhale when I rap.
Definitely my favorite song so far in the Deluxe.
Can you hear me now? But can you hear me now?
Okay, that song's done. Price Up featuring Tory Deshawn. See, here's the thing about Tory Deshawn, right? He's very versatile. Like, I've even made a playlist of kind of my quote unquote perfect album of Tory Deshawn tracks released so far. But yes, he knows how to do those kind of hype, upbeat songs, but also songs like One Day at a Time and Change the Channel really showcases Tory's ability to be vulnerable on the track. And he's actually a really dope storyteller with his lyrics, if you know, he helps on a track that allows him to do that. But yeah, straight away I can hear this song is a very upbeat song. I was hoping he'd do like a singing feature. Or like a very lyrical feature, something that's a bit less predictable. Because we've heard Tory do lots of like hype tunes, but every once in a while when he delves into his introspective bag, I think that's what really sets him apart as an artist for me. So I'm hoping that we would get that with this feature with Lecrae, because for him to feature on a Lecrae song is very big for him. So hopefully he does it justice and doesn't give an average or mediocre performance. I mean, the beat still slaps, but let's see what he does.
What you know about this? Purchase me in blood and put a hole in both wrists. Now I know my worth and why I know you so pissed.
Yeah, I know you mad now that the price of. I know you mad now that the price of.
Okay, so it's about knowing your worth.
You said it on praise, changed all of my ways. My vision was foggy, I was wrong back in the day. Before we ever share locations, Jesus said he paying, so I asked him what the cost. He just looked me up and down and pointed at the cross. I promise, you don't
like
suck
that.
it, they promise. How you wanna go about this? Team up, what you know about this? Purchase me in blood and put a hole in both wrists. Now I know my worth.
Hook is a bit generic for me.
Oh, you miss.
Yeah, it sounds a bit generic to me.
Lucy thought she had me, but I had to cut her loose. Now I'm worth the blood of Christ, somebody break the news. You ain't use a devil, use a...
We interrupt
Beat
our
switch.
program to bring you this important message.
Church where I was at, but East St. Louis where I'm from.
Okay, here's Tory. You hearing me?
Reminiscing on the days of clean dirt. I didn't want to hurt mama little heart, but she stayed ahead of me, she played in the dark. As soon as Christ went up, no stock, you get no cut. Right before you had my soul too bad, just top and be stuck.
He said the P word. He said the P word. But it's real. Yeah, we are bought at a price. You know, when we give our life to Jesus, we are bought by the blood of Christ. We are bought at a price. And Tori just mentioned, you know, porn on the laptop. That's something he relates to, something that he struggled with. That's one big way that the enemy has tempted him, and he's not falling for it. And I rate that. I rate that he just said that word because it's real. It's very, very real. So, yeah, that did catch me off guard because I don't know how many CHH artists have said the word porn in their rap apart from Andy Mineo. So yeah, he just casually dropped it, but yeah, I think we need to address it, man, because it's real, man. The stigma around talking around porn and the way it destroys so many people, including many Christians behind closed doors. Yeah, man.
Kind of man fall in love with his mankind, type of brother to bleed for. Run by drinking red wine when he called.
Tori is snapping, by the way.
In between love and hate is a thin line. No, between love and hate is a big guy.
Yesterday's price, not today's price.
Okay. Again, that song was okay. Tori did his thing, came with the energy as I thought he would. But this, again, the song was a bit generic. All the songs so far are relatively generic, but I know I'm not going to say that about the next song, which is the song that got the snippet on Instagram. And just a few bars I heard on Instagram were very, very poignant, very deep, very grown. I feel like this song is one of the best songs that represent the stage of life that Lecrae is at now, as a father, as an entrepreneur, as a grown black man who has had a lot of healing work that he's done, a lot of therapy, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of wrestling with the faith that he has as a believer. But yeah, let's dive into Legacy featuring J. Paul the Carpenter, who I've never heard of before. So let's see what he offers. And I like samples like this, that soulful. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Final hours. Hope they my finest hours. Hope I gave her more time and wisdom than toys and flowers.
I hope I gave a lot. But when I reach the end of my life, I hope I gave more time and wisdom than toys and flowers. I hear that.
Hope I did more for my some hooks for him.
Yeah.
My firstborn getting older, can't be doing too much. He not just listening, he watching.
He watching.
Every movement is clutch.
Yeah.
Look at photos of my
kids are
daughter and
watching.
get teary-eyed. I hope get older, daddy really tried. My role, sometimes I feel like I'm failing, but God grazed on the curb. Should be bunking, be laid on the curb, but God be blessing my family. My granny stood on the word, not explaining my views. Just a song, not a sermon. You can ask me in person, but candidly, I'm still learning.
He said it. That's probably the best summed up way he said it. Like, I'm still learning. When I'm on these songs, it's not a sermon. Stop putting me on this pedestal. And I think, again, when it comes to Christian artists, I know this topic has really come up recently with the whole Maverick City music thing with the Grammys, and again, all these expectations we put on these Christian artists to, you know, be in the world but not of the world. But then when they collaborate with secular artists, even for a noble cause, we are very quick to shun it. And don't get me wrong, I think I understand the pushback to an extent, because yeah, I think, you know, sometimes you can, when you perform with certain artists, you can give the impression that you're kind of co-signing what that secular artist is about. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. All of that is to say, what Lecrae was saying in that bar just there is, don't put, these Christian artists are not your pastors, man. You know, they are not pastors, they are not deacons, they're not discipling people in that sense through their arts. Their art is a reflection, an honest reflection of where they're at in their faith, and that can come out in many different ways. But, you know, I think as consumers, we have to have that intelligence and nuance to say, okay, well, it's not your typical packaging of Christian art, but what is the heart of what this person is saying? What is the context behind it? And is there a redemptive value to what this artist is giving, even if they're not talking about Jesus every other line? Yeah, he's just talking that real, you know. Don't put these Christian artists on a pedestal. Okay, this is J. Paul. The boy could sing, you know.
Remember when I was younger, I went on tour. Blame was like brothers. I was honored to do it. They was leaders I followed, but truth. Me and Fish used to kick it, but all the CM was older. Jay Johnson, Jafai.
He's naming names. He's naming names. Talking about kind of his generation of CHH. Again, if you know your CHH history, probably around the era that I guess J. Cole's generation was just starting to come up. Like, yeah, late 2000s, early 2010s. Around that period was when artists like Flame and Thizzle and other artists, they were like the young or current cats of that day. But yeah, he's just kind of, let me rewind a little bit, because he said something about the movement. I don't know if he meant the 116 movement, the early days of that, or cross movement. But let's rewind a little.
Me and Flame was like brothers. I was honored to do it.
I went on tour with
It was
them.
leaders I followed, but truthfully I ain't know 'em. Me and Fish used to kick. Jay Johnson, Jafai, EP and Shekinah, Swift Shine, Fire. CHH was all under.
He's mentioned Shy. I think that's Shy Lynn and a few other people.
EP and Shekinah, Swift Shine, Precise.
Oh, Shekinah.
Corey Rare about the fire. CHH was all underground, but I loved it then. Now we fighting for TV time and I'm publishing. People say.
Now we're fighting for TV time and publishing. Yeah, man. It was all about community back then, you know, when CHH was a lot more underground. Now, in many ways, we've overcomplicated things. Small cliques have been formed within this subgenre or community that we call Christian hip hop. And yeah, man, I see what he's saying. You know, he's saying, you know, there used to be this more kind of brotherly bond in my generation and older, but now with these young cats coming out with the world becoming more digitized and sophisticated, and there's more competition. And yeah, man, I think somewhere along the way we kind of lost what this culture was all about. But I think we're getting a resurgence. I think we're getting a renaissance of artists who, they're tired of the cliquish behaviors and all the microaggressions within our community of, oh, I follow this theology, or I'm going this commercial route, and are you sure you should be going that commercial route? Are you sure you should be working with these secular artists and doing these opportunities? Are you sure you should be going outside the church in this way? And yeah, just hating on each other's callings. But I think now the younger generation of artists coming up in CHH, I think they're bringing the community back, because we know about that. I think our generation, we know about getting the clout, we know about doing all the trap beats, and we know the formulas to follow, but we want something that's real again. We want something that's organic again. We're tired of just trends for the sake of trends, and I think that's why we're seeing artists like What Up RG, even John Keith, you know, still give a wide variety of art. It's not just trap beats and auto-tune, but they still push their artistry with various kinds of production, singing, complex subject matter in their music as well. So yeah, I think there's kind of a renaissance happening again in CHH.
Promise that I ain't chase it. Somehow everything blew up. Let the past be the past, don't relive it.
Let the past be the
Everything's a
past.
season, but these seasons. No few Hovey and RG tell one day. Hope they know they the future.
They're the
Drake
future.
to my Tunchi.
They're the Drake to my Tucci. Literally, that's how I see it as well, you know. All those artists he just named, Few, One Day, Hovey, RG. These are the younger generation artists in Reach Records, and hopefully they release some new music this year so that I can react to them, because I don't think I've reacted to them yet on this channel. Yeah, again, when I started the reactions, I had just missed Whatapaji's New Hollywood and 1K Fuse album as well, As I Am. But those albums were incredible, and I still bump them on repeat to this day, because yeah, those were really strong back-to-back albums that came out a week apart from each other. I'll never forget that. But yeah, just a classic example of what makes me excited about the next gen of CHH. Anyway, let's keep going.
Wayne in my juvie, don't be doing too much. Not just listening, watching. Every movement is clutch.
I hope I got it right. I tried, oh, I tried.
Yeah, that hook is amazing. J. Paul kills it. By far, best song of the Deluxe. One of the best songs in the whole album. And now we've got the closer, Best Thing, featuring Rotimi. Or Rotimi. Okay, Afrobeat Lecrae.
You took a bad man and you saved him. You introduced me to my savior, and for that I am forever thankful for you.
Did he say you introduced me to my savior? Interesting. Is Rotimi implying he's a Christian as well? I don't know. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out if this song is a love song to his girl. We're gonna find out.
Oh, baby, oh, never wanna let you go. That you my light, you my rock, you my world. God show me
Yeah, it's a love song.
because of you, girl. That's why if anybody asks me, oh yeah, into me. Get up. She a winner, I tell her every day, oh, she my blessing, she everything I pray for. Never worry when I'm gone, I know me up when I was down, forever grateful. My mind spinning when she wind it. I know she love me cause she patient and she kind.
My mind is spinning when she whining. Okay. Lecrae's never been embarrassed to talk about the physical beauty of his wife. I'm gonna say it is refreshing to hear Lecrae on Afrobeats. It's not the first time he's done it, but it doesn't happen that often, so it's refreshing to hear him do that. I mean, it's a bit of an interesting song to finish the album with. I thought he would finish the album with a song like Legacy. I would have swapped Legacy and Best Thing, in my opinion, but Best Thing is a bop. Again, it doesn't wow me. It's not the first time I've heard Lecrae on an Afrobeat song, and to be honest, Rotimi took over that song for me. Like he ran that whole song. Yeah, Lecrae didn't have that much of a presence on it in my opinion, but overall, what do I think of these bonus tracks? I think they didn't add as much to the album as I thought they would. They Ain't No, again, that would go off at any concert, and he took some real stuff on there. Double R Dreamin, you know, he's talking a bit about his come up and what he fantasized about growing up in the hood, and just reflecting on where he is now and how his mindset has evolved. And then Can You Hear Me Now, again, I like how D Smoke came in. I wish D Smoke had a bit more of a presence on the song. I think a lot of these songs, they're so short, so it's like they're radio friendly bops, but again, part of me is yet to see Lecrae really be edgy and just do something very unorthodox, like have some unorthodox beat switch in the middle of a song, or like just add some, I don't know, some element of surprise that Andy Mineo does every once in a while, that Whatapaji does quite a lot. And I don't know, I need something, and I get it, you know, this is what makes Lecrae who he is his music is just a bit more commercially friendly, which is why I guess he has so much appeal. So I can't be mad at him for that, but I don't know, I just have this very artistic experimental itch that sometimes I'm waiting for Lecrae to scratch that itch and he doesn't. But again, these songs aren't bad. They might grow on me, but they kind of just reiterate the messages of the original Church Close 4 album. There's not that much new information, I guess, apart from the song Legacy, which, you know, Lecrae really delves into a bit more detail on his memories of kind of his generation of CHH, and how I guess those in his generation have kind of all gone their own way and taken their own creative paths and professional paths, but he still remembers those times because they've made him who he is today, and he wants to kind of leave his legacy to his children and his creative children, you know, his label children, you know, the What Up RGs and the 1K Fuse and all those guys. So I think, yeah, Legacy was probably obviously this track that stood out to me. Did we need a deluxe? Why not? You know, I think the tracks still kind of match the quality of some of the songs on Church Close 4 of the original album, but I think for the most part, to be honest, the tracks in the original album are better than these ones. But I guess that's typical of any deluxe album. You know, the deluxe tracks are rarely as good or better than the original song. So, but yeah, big ups to Lecrae. Again, Lecrae has done an incredible job with the whole Church Close 4 series. This is officially the end of the Church Close series of albums. Again, the Church Close projects that he's done are really kind of indicative of his rap, not just his rapping, but the rawness of the themes that he covers. So I guess that's the larger kind of reputation that the Church Close series has. Yeah, you know, God bless Lecrae, and, you know, God bless him for what he's meant to the community and what he's meant to us globally. So yeah, man, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like. And I'm quite relaxed right now and dreary in the way I'm talking because it's very late at the moment as I'm recording. I'm recording in a secret location as well. Try and guess where it is, but yeah, if you liked this reaction, hit that subscribe button for more of this content because it is coming soon. Let me know your thoughts on the deluxe tracks. What do you think they added much to the album? Were they needed? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked the video, you know what to do. Just like it, press that thumbs up button, and God bless, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.